Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love any makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows. And today I'm actually going to be talking about a mainstream brand, and that is Natasha Denona, and she just came out with the Pastel Palette. Never thought I would see the day she would finally come out with a pastel palette. I saw a mock-up of a pastel palette of Natasha Denona, that one of those makeup pages that do palette mock-ups, but I can't seem to find it. But actually it's pretty similar. So this is what the outside looks like. Love the gradient. Like, so beautiful. It is matte, which I have mixed feelings on matte because usually things that are matte are just harder to clean. But let's take a look at the inside. I have already used mine to do the 4 looks, so the pans are looking a little bit imperfect, but this is the color story. Very pastel. There's a mixture of pastel tones as well as some shimmers, and there are different formulas in here from what I can tell from just looking at it. Dainty, Mint Frost, and Starlit are the shiniest, and they feel like the most almost like typical metallic, but has a bit of extra sparkle to it. And then Illusion is a super smooth multichrome or triochrome eyeshadow, and then Adriatic is a more of a satin shade, and then Limoncello and Duet are also really beautiful, but they're not as shiny and sparkly as Mint Frost, Dainty, and Starlit. And some of these mattes are the signature Natasha Denona cream to powder formula. So we have Zest, Bubble, Bora, and Tulle that are that formula. So I'm going to show you 4 looks, but before that I really wanted to do some comparison swatches to some other pastels that I have, especially from indie brands. So if you're a huge indie lover and you might already have the Pastel Pop palette, for example from Menagerie Cosmetics, or the Creepy Cute palette from Shroud, or some of the pastel shades from Terra, as well as some other single eyeshadows that I have here from Bernovich and Lethal Cosmetics. So definitely keep on watching for those comparisons. So let's get right into it. Illusion is at the top. Below that is Red Giant from Terra, then Ray from Clionadh, and Esmeralda from Devinah. And I actually don't even see a shift in Illusion. Like, it's really hard to see. It's also not very shiny. It's just smooth. And also the other shades have like a blue base to them. Do you see it right there? Versus Illusion doesn't have that. Maybe just like a tiny bit, it's more subtle, but again, I just feel like the shift isn't really quite there. First up for comparisons is Tulle from the Pastel palette. Then below that is Cuddle from the Pastel Pop palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. Then Strawberry Milk from the Creepy Cute palette from Shroud Cosmetics. And lastly is Palm Reader from Terra. And none of these are directly the same, but Cuddle is pretty close. Next up is Bora from the Pastel palette. Next to that is N10 from Bernovich, and Undone from Lethal Cosmetics, and none of these are even remotely close in color. You can see this one is super light. It looks definitely much darker in the pan. Next up is Brisk from the Pastel palette, then Iceworm from Menagerie Cosmetics, and 01 from Bernovich, Creep It Real from the Creepy Cute palette, Lunar or Later from Terra, and Yonder from Lethal Cosmetics. I think these 2 are probably the most similar. The rest of them are a bit different, not as light, and also different tones. These 2 are too green. This one's more teal, so is this one. Next is Bellini from the Pastel palette, Fishy from the Menagerie palette, and Third Eye from the Creepy Cute palette. And these are actually pretty similar. Next up we have 2 shades, so Airy from the Pastel palette, Aquatic from Pastel Pup, and Cold Shoulder from Creepy Cute. And then next to that is Bubble from the Pastel palette, Ice Cap from Menagerie Cosmetics Pastel Pup, and Daydreamer from Terra. These 2 are very similar, but Ice Cap is definitely much more pigmented. The last matte is Feather, Libra from Terra, Planchette from Creepy Cute, Sequence from Lethal Cosmetics. And none of you can barely see this one. My mic wasn't on, so I already put on the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 1. And that is because it's not fully like an actual white primer. It's more of my skin tone, but it doesn't have any sort of undertone. So I would use the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer, but it's a little bit on the orangey side, and I don't want it to affect the tones of these pastel shades. So first going in with the shade Bubble, and this is the cream to powder formula, which I'm not really sure how I feel about this formula for a pastel. This formula tends to be more on the buildable side, so I'm going to go in with a little bit more. I do feel like I need to dig in a little bit in the pan, and I am using a natural hairbrush, and I'm taking Bora, which is also cream to powder, on the outer corner, and I feel like you can kind of tell it's just putting down a little bit lighter than it looks in the pan. We'll see how buildable it is. I'm gonna blend it a little bit into the blue, which is just gonna create a really fun purple shade. So yeah, this is kind of just like blending and blending and blending, but I'm not really getting much depth out of it. So I switched to this Game Beauty EO3 brush. It's more of a packing brush, so I'm gonna go on top with that. And it is synthetic, and I feel like they didn't really add much, which is really interesting because this is how the shade looks in the pan. Ooh, this way. Okay, I really went in with my brush. And yeah, this is as dark as it's going to get, it seems like. I was kind of hoping to get a little bit more depth out of the shade. Next, I'm taking the shade Duet, which is a beautiful pink blue duochrome, and I'm just gonna put that all over my lid. I'm using my finger, which usually helps to foil, but in this case, this is looking a little underwhelming, so I'm gonna spray my brush. So I'm going in with a sprayed brush, and that definitely helps a bit more. I mean, it's pretty, but it's pretty subtle for my preference, but I think a lot of people will enjoy something more subtle like this and not like super sparkly. All right, I'm taking Bora under my lower lash line, and then Bubble right next to that, which is super fun. I think these two colors together, like in this palette, are really nice. And then I'm gonna take Brisk, just the green. Super nice, just packing it on. I put on the Kiss No Filters lashes, and here's the first finished look. And on the side, I'm gonna go in with the P. Louise base in shade 0, which is the white. Going in with Bellini, which is a regular matte. And I kind of did just start like blending it versus packing it on first. But you can definitely just pack it on first if you wanted to. Get a little bit more pigmentation. I'm going in with Tulle on the outer corner. This is such a light pinky shade. Wow, that's barely showing up on a white base. I feel like I need a different brush as well. Like this just didn't really help it either. But that's so subtle. That is really not anything I really look for. I mean, I understand it's pastels. And this one is the cream to powder formula. So I'm going in with my finger, see if I can like pack on and get just like a little bit more color there. Going in with Limoncello, which this shade was in the Tropic palette, and I can definitely tell they've improved the formula. It is not hard panning from swatching as the version that was in the Tropic palette. That just like immediately hard pan. So I'm just putting that under here. Again, super subtle. It's just got like a little bit of a sheen to it. And then out here, I'm gonna go in with Starlit, which is probably like one of the darker shimmers on here. So it's gonna kind of deepen it up a little bit. Even though it's not a matte, which I like that it's gonna do that. Out here, it's kind of like a half and half. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna just blend it out here a little bit. I'm taking Starlit, and I'm just gonna put that right underneath my lower lash line. And then I'm taking Feather, going right next to that. Picked up Illusion. I'm going to use that as the inner corner highlight on this side. And this shade very much reminds me of Red Giant or UV. Put on the Kiss No Filters lashes, and here's the second finished look. Onto the third look, priming with the P. Louise base in the shade 1. Feeling the greens and the blues for this look. So I'm going to go in with Airy on the outer portion, and I am just packing it on with a synthetic brush. And then I'll start blending. Literally like a kiss of color. I mean, it is pastel, so what can I really expect? And then Brisk on the inner half of my crease. trying to pack it down. If you pack it down, you do get like a nice amount of pigment. It's when you start blending is it just starts to, I feel like these two look very similar on the lid. Going in with the NYX glitter primer. Just gonna put it all over basically. And I'm gonna go in with Mint Frost on the outer half. So sparkly, very beautiful. The shade is giving me that sparkle that I really like. And then Adriatic, which is more of a satin. I'm putting right next to that. I feel like they look very, very similar. Very similar. I think I can tell that the shade is a little bit darker, but it is also less shiny. Yeah. Taking Airy under my lower lash line. And then Brisk. So here's the third finished look. Priming again with the Peely's primer. I'm first going to take Bora and I'm going to take it right into my crease and onto the outer corner. Oh, this is just so not like what it looks like in the pan. Really have to keep packing it on. I'm going to blend it out with Bellini on the edges of that. Which is blending really nicely together. And in here a little bit more. I am kind of losing Bora a bit, so I'm going to go back in and just try to pack it on a little bit more. I feel like I really have to dig in the pan to get any sort of color payoff, and I feel like it's hard panning a little bit. So I'm just taking that in here. I'm going to pretty much put it all over my lid. I'm going to layer the multi-chrome over it. So I'm just trying to add a little bit of depth. I love these two together for sure, really fun. I just wish the shade was a little deeper. Going in with the Fairly Pixie Epoxy. Picked up Illusion. It's a little bit powdery, not really that shiny. And I'm just gonna bring it into my inner corner. Going in with Bora under my lower lash line. Onto the outer corner. And I'm going to take Bellini on the same brush and just blend it underneath. Here's the fourth finished look. Okay, before I get into my thoughts on this palette, I just want to say that everyone has different makeup preferences, and just because my makeup preferences are not what this palette might be intended for does not make it a bad palette, and also a negative review does not equal honest. Also, that doesn't mean that it's not biased, and I am extremely biased because I have used so many different eyeshadows from indie brands to mainstream, and I just really know what I like and what I look for, what my makeup preference is, and what I know I will reach for. Formulas I like, not just mattes but also shimmers, and this palette is not for me. I'm really glad that this is a $65 palette because I probably wouldn't have actually bought the $125 size if it had been that full size, because I think that would have been way too expensive for a all pastel palette. That being said, just because I don't like the palette doesn't mean you won't like this palette. I feel like this is meant for a very particular type of makeup user, and that is not me. Like, I understand these are pastels, so they are going to be light, obviously, but I have so many better pastels from all these indie brands that are just like a better formula, better pigmentation. Some of them are a little bit brighter. They're not as pastel as pastels can be. However, I just much prefer Menagerie Cosmetics, Shroud Cosmetics, Lethal Cosmetics mattes. Like, I really just feel like those perform way better for me. And these, especially the cream to powder. Now, I love the cream to powder usually. I think when it comes to neutral eyeshadows, really amazing to have. And also, I love it in the Metropolis palette. In there, some of the cream to powder shades are really, really dark. So I can build those up, but because these shades are already so light, you can really only build them up so much. Especially Bora. Bora really just disappointed me. I was hoping it was going to be exactly what it looks like in the pan, but I cannot build it up to this. Like, it gets about halfway and that's it, and it's hard to pick up. And I would just recommend in general, do not swatch these with your hands or fingers because they are very prone to hard panning. In particular, the cream to powder mattes, which I did experience in other palettes, but they were still very usable and it wasn't that much of a big deal, and I've learned since then not to do that. But because I have a YouTube channel, I did have to swatch these, but otherwise I would not have swatched these. Out of all the mattes, I found Feather up here to be like completely useless in here. Like, I understand you can use it with Bora, but I just feel like it's such a weird, it's almost like a grayish purple. It's not like a true like bright pastel, but just personally, I know I will probably never use that shade. I just did 4 looks and I did not use a shade. I think I did maybe under the lower lash line, but I'm just not going to be going onto the lid with that shade. Now let's talk about the shimmers. The shade Illusion is a trio chrome, and while yes, it is a little bit shifty, it is so subpar compared to indie brands. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because honestly, it's kind of laughable to me. It just looks so dull on the lid. It doesn't even look like I have a metallic shade on my lid. It just looks powdery. And yes, it does have a little bit of that red sheen to it, but really, like, you're not going to see a multi-chrome effect on the lids. And again, I feel like this multi-chrome was put in here for people that don't want anything that will be extremely sparkly, shiny, shifty, textured, etc. So I understand. I don't think by any means it makes this palette worth it. Let's talk about some of the other shades. Limoncello, I can definitely tell, as well as Mint Frost, are a much better formula than they were in the Tropic palette. They were horrible in the Tropic palette. That palette was limited edition and is no longer available. I'm actually really surprised that they're including those as kind of like repeats, because they did do a mini Tropic palette where they included them in there too. So this is now the 3rd time we're seeing these 2 shades. And I just feel like I kind of am ready for something else. That being said, they're really nice shades. Limoncello is not really that shiny though. I think out of all the metallics, Mint Frost, Dainty, and Starlight are my favorite. They have that sparkle. They are the closest to what I look for in a shimmer shadow. They remind me more closely of Bernovich shimmers and Glam Shop shimmers in terms of just their shine and their sparkle. Adriatic is a satin, which I have no use for, so I will probably never use that shade. All in all, I would not recommend this palette to you just because of its performance, and the price tag is so high, and you can get way better pastels and even just single eyeshadows from indie brands that would add up to less than the cost of this palette, especially if you're a avid indie brand lover and buyer and you love indie brands. Definitely do not waste your money on this. If you are a more mainstream brand lover, you like more subtle eyeshadows, you really want something super, super subtle just for a little pop of fun here and there, and you don't mind paying the price tag, then I think you might enjoy this palette. But honestly, I'm not really sure about that. So those are my thoughts on this palette. Let me know in the comments below if you picked this up and what you think of it. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm really curious to see what you have to say. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much indie makeup content, lots and lots of tutorial and sparkly eyeshadow content uploading my channel, and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.